Hello and welcome to my master class. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to generate serial numbers or range of numbers and customize same in different forms. So let's get started. Okay, before we get started, you have to install a plugin called Text Pastry. So let me show you on the menu bar. From the menu, you'll find Text Pastry. This is a plugin I downloaded from the net. Installed for Sublime Text, because the program we're going to use is Sublime Text. So download this from the net. Just Google Text Pastry, it will come up. Download it, follow instruction to install, or you can watch the video, one of my videos just below on how to install Text Pastry. Then once you install and get it running, you can then join the class. You have to first of all hold down the Control key and the Shift key and then press the P on your keyboard. So that brings a command line, a command prompt like this. So in the command line, you will now type range, where you will now notice range numeric will be highlighted. And once you take your cursor and click on that highlight, it will then give you a command line expecting you to type in the range of number, in the range in which it should generate the number. So at this point, what you need to do is to, if you want, let's say 1 to 20, you're going to type 1-20, and then once you press the enter key, it will now generate those serial numbers. I've just pressed the enter key on my keyboard now, and the numbers have been generated 1 to 20, as you can see on the screen. So the next question now is, how do you customize this 1 to 20 serial numbers? The first thing you need to do is Control A or Command A on your Mac. Then once you are able to, which serves as select all. So once you're able to select all the text, then Command Shift L on your keyboard, or Control Shift L if you're using the Windows. So once it switches to the split mode, because once you press the Command Shift L, what you're asking the computer to do is to switch that selection now into split mode. So that split mode will allow you to move your cursor and customize the text. So now use your left arrow key. Just tap your left arrow key once, so that the cursor will now come to the left, and then you will now begin to type the custom name that you want it to associate with the serial number. So I want chapters because I'm working on a book, or I'm working on a Bible app, or something that has to do with chapters. So I have just typed in chapter, and everything came at once. So once you achieve that, you can now press the escape key, and you see that in less than a minute you have generated custom numbers or custom chapters for your project. So now, in many cases, this form of customization, if you're working on a project that the user needs to select topic, and then the chapters should populate, maybe in a list book or a select book. That's if it was a web project, a website, or an app. Those are the elements that you will mostly be needing this for, where the user select the topic and then the the subjects or the chapters will now be populated in a combo box, which is the select box, so that it can now be selected. But there are other ways too that you can pass this kind of data into the combo box by using an array, a JSON array. So how do you convert this custom number now, or chapters, so to speak, into a JSON array? Let me show you how. First, what you need to do is to, let's get rid of the topic. First, what you need to do is Control A to select the entire list of chapters. Then Control Shift L to split into, to switch into split mode. Alright, that's a command, but let me show you. You can find split mode on your select. This split into lines is as good as Control L. As you can see the command here, Control Shift L is split into lines. So that command is not a magic, it exists on our select option. So you can, if you don't want to use the control key, the shortcuts, you can just go there and have it selected. So once you have it in the split mode, what you need to do now is to hold your shift key. Mind you, we are trying to convert this now to a JSON array, such that you can dynamically pass it into the combo box using JavaScript or something, any language that can enable you to do that. So once you select this, what you need to do now is to hold down the shift key and press the quotation mark on your keyboard. So once you're able to do the quotation mark, once you achieve, you notice that the quotation mark is now closing each of the chapter. As you can see on the screen, it's closing each of the chapter. So now use your arrow key to switch. Just tap your arrow key twice. That's what I've done on my keyboard now, twice, to bring it to the beginning, to the back of your of your chapters, or of the opening quote. So once you have the cursor line up at the back of the opening quote, you will now press comma on your keyboard. So once you have that comma pressed, it means you have achieved what I wanted you to achieve. So the next step is you press the escape key and then hold your Control and A key on your keyboard again, and then go to the edit menu where you find line, and then move your cursor down to join, which is Control Shift J, not Control Shift L. It's Control Shift J this time, which will now join the selection. And once you click that, it now joins the selection. Your content has been converted into a JSON array. So with this JSON format now, it can easily be passed on to any of the components, be it list or a select element or a combo box. This JSON file, this JSON snippets can be passed to it easily, and you will visually see those chapters as it should be by the as it should be as it should be, as it is expected. All right, thank you for joining. So that brings us to the conclusion of the lesson. So if it is a JSON, to round up the JSON, all you need to do is the open and close tags for the JSON, which is this, and then maybe which is this, and then this, and then you go up here to the very beginning, it's chapter 1, remove the first comma, and then open this and this. Here you go. Now you have a complete JSON file. You can save this now as a JSON. Just save it as a JSON and pass it on to your component as a JSON file. So you can actually generate 100 of this in a split second. So that's how it works. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe to the channel to keep you updated. Thank you.